Yeah, let's light this candle. I'm talking about Patreon. You haven't heard it? It's Patreon. Ticket Price Podcast. We're on Patreon. I'm doing a new Patreon intro. I'm Jake. That's Tevis. We're Ticket Price. Ticket Price Podcast. Patreon. You can tune into our episodes. We get comment sections. Ticket Price Top 10 Tuesdays. Check them out. Bonus content. Moments in horror. We got it all. Patreon. Ticket Price Podcast. Jake Tevis. Ticket Price. Patreon. Loud noises. Let's burn this candle. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whenever it is you're tuning in. Welcome to Ticket Price Special Episode Edition. With you as always, I am your co-host Jake. Sitting across the way is Tevis at Master Control. By this point, if you don't know who we are, just remember that I'm the one who uses words like ignoramus. And he is the one that embodies words like ignoramus.
Are you just saying that I'm the ignoramus?
Yeah.
I can't even pronounce ignoramus.
And there's the difference, ladies and gentlemen. Point proven.
Hello, everybody.
Now, I have to admit, though, because this is weird, there's someone else in studio.
There is?
Oh, I hate that joke. Boo this woman. I haven't even introduced you, and I hate everything you're bringing to this session right now.
Break out your Boo This Woman t-shirts.
Boo this woman t-shirt. I hate that joke. Bingo card. No, we have writer. We have noted woman. Sara is with us.
I am indeed a noted woman.
Noted woman.
I am indeed a noted woman.
She has agreed, after much hounding, to come on and do this episode with us, as we are going to revisit Rocky in what we're calling the first of this series, or hopefully series, if we can hound and kidnap more people to be on the show.
I am currently tied to a chair. Please help me.
We gave you the nice one. What are you complaining about? It has padding. I got demoted to a stool several episodes back. I only bitched a little bit.
I am currently sitting on a milk crate.
I took the milk out. What do you want from me? But no, we're looking at what we got wrong. So Sara has agreed to come in as we revisit Rocky and explain from a female perspective and an educated perspective two things that Tevis and I lack about why we are wrong with our feelings about Rocky as a person, as a movie, his relationship with Adrian, the whole kit and caboodle. That's what we're looking into. Have I forgotten anything?
I don't think so.
I am super excited for this, but I am not real happy that I had to rewatch the movie for this.
Wait, you rewatched Rocky for this?
We had to rewatch the movie for this, didn't we?
No, I listened to our episode.
Why the hell did I rewatch Rocky?
No one told you.
Nobody said I wasn't supposed to watch it.
No one said you were supposed to watch it.
I watched it.
See?
Yeah, I did the homework.
But I did tell her she had to because she wasn't here for the she wasn't here for
Listen,
the original episode.
As many times as I've seen Rocky, I could probably have this memorized.
Why have you seen Rocky that many times? This movie sucks.
Why have I watched it 2 times in 3 months? This is some bullshit.
No one asked you to watch it again.
We were doing an episode on Rocky. I had to watch it.
No, I just listened to our episode. It was wildly more enjoyable.
Man, you guys need to be more organized about this.
Look at our studio. Yeah, we have
Again?
a board that says J-Bitch seal of approval. How organized do you think we are?
Again, I am tied to a chair. Somebody please help me.
I had to rewatch Rocky. Somebody please help me.
I have to deal with these two all day. Fantastic.
Somebody help him.
All right. You know, I'm just moving on. We're just moving on. So if anyone has not heard our take on Rocky, we do encourage go back, check out the episode. It's a good one, but we will be giving interjections on our thoughts and feelings about the movie, characters, scenes as we talk about them. But Sara, you've unfortunately listened to the show, which is why we had to force you to come here today, and you didn't come on your own free will. Much like Adrian and that date she went on with Rocky. What is your history with this movie. Fill us in on where you and this movie stand.
I don't actually remember the first time that I saw Rocky because I saw it with my mom and we watched it all the time together. So I have a lot of nostalgia with this movie, and I used to have a crush on Rocky just a little bit.
Ew. I wasn't going to say anything, but no, I'm going to cut in here. Ew. Is it the way he talks?
I thought his face was cute, and I thought he was a gentleman. And
Wait. Never mind. Please continue. Continue to dig your hole. I have no comments.
listen, you dragged me here. You asked me this question. I am answering to the best of my ability. So, but yeah, I have a lot of good memories with this movie. Me and my mom watch a lot of movies together, and this was one of the ones that we break out quite often.
See, the problem is girls don't want to date no southpaw. Girls don't. The girls, they don't like dating no southpaw. Because we come in and they're not used to it, and they don't like dating no southpaw. Is that what did it for you?
There's your bad impression, folks, for your bingo cards.
That's our line. You are a guest. Stop stepping on my toes. I am the host of this motherfucker. Woo. If you think Sarah should replace me, then keep your comments to yourself and eat my ass. Nom, 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 nom. I don't have to put up with this. I'm not tied to a chair. I'll just get up and leave.
If someone
It's Gremlins all over again.
If someone could please make a shirt that says nom 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 nom
Nom, 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 nom.
I believe you said that before too.
I'm sure it came after eat my ass. Nom, 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 nom. Everyone can I got a big fat white pasty ass and there's enough for everybody. So getting back on topic, actually, I do think it's interesting, Tevis, tell me what you think, that you and your mom introduced you to Rocky. Like for me, it was my dad, because Rocky is definitely the kind of movie, like it falls into Westerns where I don't think I'm speaking necessarily out of turn here. I feel like Rocky, like most Sylvester Stallone movies, are kind of like John Wayne movies or something where typically it's the father figure that introduces these films, because usually mom is like, we're watching that again, like that's the stereotype. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. But I don't remember who introduced me to Rocky. I know it wasn't my mother, but I might have just stumbled upon it one time. But I think you're right though. It feels more like the father should be like, hey, I love this meathead. Won't you love him too?
And then we'll watch Cliffhanger, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Cliffhanger.
John Lithgow. Surprise, John Lithgow.
Well, my mom and I are really big fans of like underdog movies. And even if you don't like Rocky, I think you can see that it's basically an underdog movie. He starts really, really low and then goes to the top. So it has an encouraging message.
Right. I don't think our issue was the message of Rocky. It was the portrayal of Rocky. Because you know why he was so low? Because he's a shit bum who decided to work for a local thug and break thumbs and shit for money.
Okay, we are now going to get into this.
All right. What would you like to talk about first?
Well, since we already brought it up, we could talk about Rocky and his characteristic, because I believe that Rocky has kind of a Charlie Brown experience.
The way he talks?
No.
The
wah, 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 wah. No.
Charlie Brown. Rocky was the school teacher. Holy shit. I never knew that.
See, kid, what we don't hear is, see, kids, they don't want you to be taught by no southpaw, right? Because the administration don't like southpaw, right? They don't know how to handle it. Also, although I do need more clarification, how in the world is he like Charlie Brown?
Okay, what I meant by that was, in the show Charlie Brown, no one seems to like Charlie Brown, right? They always mess with him. They are always putting him down, it seems like, until he actually does something accidentally amazing, right?
Charlie Brown never does anything accidentally amazing,
okay.
And I'm pretty sure only Lucy picks on him. Peppermint Patty, I think, has a crush on him. His best friend Linus with the security blanket, they're bros.
Right.
His little sister.
Peppermint Patty has a crush on Charlie Brown?
Yeah.
I thought it was somebody.
I thought she was...
Oh, no, it was Peppermint Patty. I think you're right. Yeah.
Because the sister has the crush. What's her
Right.
name? Sally?
I thought
Charlie,
she like wore Birkenstocks and
let's be honest about Peppermint Patty.
Oh my gosh.
What? Hot pitch perfect reference. Thank you.
yeah, I 100% always thought that's what Peppermint Patty was representing.
Yeah, I do like, I can't remember her name, but Peppermint Patty's friend always calls her Sir.
Yeah, the one with the glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know her name.
I don't either, but why is Charlie Brown better than Rocky?
I didn't say, I just meant to compare, right? So in Rocky's case, nobody likes him or nobody seems to like him. And he has kind of given up on his dream, right? So the people around him don't really appreciate him for who he is or his dreams. And after the first fight in the beginning of the film, after he fights Spider, he gets off stage and then the first comment that he gets is that you're a bum. And then he gets thrown popcorn at him.
Well, to be fair, he was in the ring with Spider Rico.
Who was a bum, according to Mickey. But
And Tevis, if I recall.
Yeah.
Also-
he was pretty bummed.
Spider Rico, who throws a headbutt in the middle of a fight?
Spider Rico.
Spider Rico, the
I'm
bastard.
surprised he didn't lead with his elbows.
A flying knee out of the corner. Here comes the spider.
But basically, Rocky has no one in his corner at the beginning of the movie. No one's cheering him on. No one's encouraging him. You know, he's kind of given up on his dream. It's a pretty low place to start, right? As you get into the movie, right, he helps everyone around him regardless of his circumstances.
Yeah, creepo.
That is one example. So the guy outside of the bar who is passed out on the sidewalk after talking to Adrian at the pet store, you know, and he mentions that it's cold outside. He passes by the bar and he picks up the guy outside and he brings him inside, right? Did you guys notice that?
I have no memory of that. I'm not. You watched the movie recently, Tevis.
I don't remember that. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I don't remember that. But again, I watched Rocky twice in 3 months, so my brain is a little jellified, more than normal,
Much like Rocky's.
much like Rocky's.
Did you lead with your face?
I always lead with my face, no matter what I'm doing.
I mean, that is pretty metal. So
That is a reference to our D&D game that makes no... I'm going to need you to keep our inside jokes inside
right.
and not out in the podcast.
Fine, whatever. Okay.
I'm going to use that from now on.
Metal.
So, and then of course you have the situation with Maria, and he's trying to talk to her, and he's trying to tell her not to go down this path. And you know,
Is she the creepo girl?
Yeah,
I was
she's
like,
the creepo
I was
girl.
like, who the hell is Maria? Wait, is
It's
she the sister of one of the sharks?
no, I don't think she is. He mentions her brother's name, but you don't actually get to see her brother. So, but he walks her home, makes sure that she's okay, and she gets like a full, you know, rant about, you know, her reputation and stuff. And he said, they don't remember you, they remember the rep. And so, well, what's Rocky's reputation? His reputation is being a bum. So I think it's tying back to what Rocky thinks of himself because of what everyone else believes in him.
Yeah, but everyone believes in that because of Rocky's actions.
I don't think so. I think it's because he's given up on his dream and he's starting to believe what everyone else is saying around him, right? And so he's kind of fitting into that mold, but he's still helping people around him, which shows off his character. His true character is about helping others and not lifting himself up, but nobody else believes in him.
So,
Well, even Mickey gave up on him.
Yeah, exactly. So you have your one coach who was, you know, kind of the starting point for your career, and then he's, you know, gave up on him.
right.
Then to your point earlier, or in the previous episode when we talked about it, when Rocky got his big break, who was the first one to come knocking on the door? Oh, I can help you. I can, you know, I saw something in you the whole time. Blah, 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 blah. Bullshit. Nom, 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 nom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mickey's not a good guy either.
No, Mickey's kind of a jerk.
But so, okay, I guess. So we're saying that Rocky had no one in his corner. There's no support system. He gave up on his dream. He's just trying to get by. He still wants to help people and in a nutshell, be a good person.
Yeah. Yes.
But this is also all implying that he was living his dream at one point, and he did have a support system. But then he ultimately, because at some point, he makes the choice to be a thug and to hurt people as a money collector.
Actually, I'm going to challenge that because I think Mr. Gazzo, who's the loan shark, I think he's more of a personal contact, right? So I don't think Rocky really does want to be a loan shark, you know? And so when Rocky and Mr. Gazzo are having that talk about breaking that guy's thumb, and he didn't, because Rocky's a good guy, and he didn't break the guy's thumb.
Rocky has definitely broken people's thumbs.
It's not the first time that Rocky and Mr. Gazzo has had that conversation. Or at least I think that's what's been implied, because Mr. Gazzo is exasperated with him. And he's like, you can't keep doing this, Rocky, you know? And then in other times with Mr. Gazzo, they don't even talk about Rocky's job anymore after that point. Mr. Gazzo gives him money for Adrian's date. He gives him money for training, and he even shows up to his fight with Apollo.
Yeah.
Is Mr. Gazzo better than Mickey?
Better than Rocky.
Mr. Gazzo might be better than Mickey.
I've watched this movie twice in the last 3 months. And I didn't catch any of that because my brain is mush.
From watching this terrible movie. Interesting food for thought.
Interesting food for thought.
I promised this wasn't going to be a huge argument or debate, so I'm just going to let you keep rolling.
Okay, I'm going to keep rolling. So I think this is just a little tidbit that I noticed while watching the movie again. You pointed out the knives in his apartment.
Yeah, like a serial killer.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
how?
Please.
How are you going to
No,
defend
just wait,
his rat hole apartment where there's definitely a corpse somewhere in the bathroom?
Just wait, hold on. So, when Rocky goes into his apartment, when you see his apartment first, there are 2 knives on the wall. So they're not even that many, right? And he hangs his hat and his coat.
Isn't
on
2
the
knives in the wall too many?
And also, they're not on the wall, they're in the wall.
Okay.
And that is a
But
big difference.
They're being used as hooks.
Why a hat rack, you bum? Get it.
He hangs his hat and his coat on him, and that's it.
Yeah, like a serial killer. On the knives, he's stabbed into the wall like a psychopath. I get what
He
you're
can't afford hooks.
bullshit. He can't, it's 1970, whatever. That shit cost a nickel
He's stealing from the pet store.
because he's an asshole.
From the hardware store.
afford-
Yeah, right? If he's cool enough to steal from the woman he likes, he can steal from the nonsense hardware store to buy an actual fucking hook for his hat.
Put 2 hooks in your pocket and walk out. Mumbling the whole time.
They don't want to serve no Southpaw, you know. They don't like it when Southpaws come into their store, you know. No,
But I just wanted to point out that he uses them as a hat rack.
So what about in the date scene where they're just like, oh yeah, there's at least one in a wall. There's one in the punching bag. There's one on the couch.
I didn't notice the one on the couch.
It's up.
I didn't see it.
Coming out of the top, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
believe so.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah. Rocky just is prone to fits of stabbing things in his apartment.
I have no explanation for that, but we're just gonna keep
I do.
going.
Oh wait, no. No. We're not just gonna breeze by this because you don't have anything to say about it. This man is a legitimate lunatic.
I only have an argument for the knives that he uses as a hat rack, and that's he's
But
poor.
at some point in time, he's like, I don't need my hat today, so he took out and stabbed his couch, his mushy, squish, fluid-filled couch.
There are no sound effects for the couch.
I'm pretty sure there are. So,
Oh my goodness.
hold on, are we in the apartment? What are we talking about right now?
So now that we've kind of reviewed Rocky's character, what I feel like
your
is
idea, yeah.
my idea of Rocky's character, I feel like we need to look at Adrian and Rocky's relationship kind of as a whole. So like before the apartment scene, and after the apartment scene.
Sure.
Right? Okay. So before the apartment scene, Rocky walks into the pet store for the first time.
That we see.
That we see. Yeah, the first
It's
scene.
clearly not the first time.
No, it's clearly not. No, he goes there all the time. But for his, turtles that he bought.
I got these exotic animals. Yes, I know. I sold them to you. Funniest line in the movie because he's such a dumbass.
So Rocky walks into the pet store, and he's asking how Adrian is, and he's talking to her, and then he makes a joke. He said that he has to pat his turtles on the back when they choke, and he asks her, what do they call it? Shell shock.
I hate that joke. Boo this man. Adrian should have booed this man out of the store.
Adrian does, in fact, smile and duck her head.
Yeah, but that also could have just been from the awkwardness of the situation.
No.
She's embarrassed of the terrible joke.
Yeah.
No, but she smiles and she tries to hide it because she's shy and timid and all those things.
Oh, I don't think anyone questions that Adrian digs Rocky.
Yeah.
She just doesn't
She
know how
likes
to
him.
express.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because Polly is a piece of crap.
Thank you.
But why? Okay, yeah, hold on. Can we time out?
We can time out.
Is there going to be any debate on our feelings towards Polly?
Polly, it's the worst human being.
Okay.
And arguably the villain of this story.
Yeah. The villain isn't Apollo.
No, the villain is not Apollo. Apollo's just a guy that...
Apollo's more of an obstacle
Yeah.
than like an antagonist.
Right, but Polly's definitely an antagonist.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Hey, we have found common ground.
Anytime we start arguing, I'll just bring up Polly.
Oh, absolutely, that piece of crap.
There we
from
go.
a human being.
You're going to bring up Polly. You hate Polly so much, you have transposed that hatred onto the actual actor.
I know.
Died recently.
I know.
And
That's
you're like,
terrible of me, but I did.
so why does Rocky steal the pet food?
I don't actually have an answer for that.
Because he's an asshole.
Again, I think he's just too poor to afford anything. They're trying to show off his poverty, right?
Very possibly, which is fair. But there are lots of impoverished people, both then and now.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use the term we, because I was, in fact, poorer than most at one point in time in my life. And you know what we didn't do? Steal.
Right.
You know what we also didn't do? Use knives embedded in the wall for our hats and our coats like psychopaths. We didn't do it.
Well,
we found other means.
That's the only thing.
Just because he's poor. And then he's not stealing a loaf of bread to feed his family. You know, that old, like, the question about someone's morals or their values.
Yeah.
You know, where's the line drawn?
Right.
He's stealing turtle food. Just throw a little bread in there. You have a sandwich, you dick. You don't have to be a thief. He is a thief by choice. He is a leg breaker by choice. He has chosen to be a piece of shit.
I don't think he's chosen it. I just think that, he's just impoverished. I really do.
No, that is not an excuse. I have never once stolen pet food.
I'm not saying it is an excuse. I'm saying in the movie, that's the way that they have the character set up.
I think they could have shown him impoverished differently than stealing from a local business of the woman that he is falling for.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
That definitely comes off as
it does.
Asshole-ish.
It does.
Okay.
For sure.
So, wait a minute. Are we agreeing to come to a consensus that Rocky's theft of the pet food is a result of bad writing?
Yes. And I will agree with that.
Sylvester Stallone puts words on paper as well as they come out of his mouth.
I think what Sylvester Stallone was going for was trying to talk in a normal, like talking conversation, right? And Rocky has that really thick accent. Where is he from?
His Philly accent?
Yeah, his Philly accent.
Yeah, but have you heard him talk in any other movie?
I have not. Literally, the only thing I've ever seen Sylvester Stallone in is Rocky. I have not seen any other Sylvester Stallone
Pull up a Sylvester Stallone clip, Tevis. That's not an act. He's not acting. Not the mushmouthness, not the voice, not the act. That's just him.
Yeah, that's his. Yeah, but I'm saying that for Rock. I think that's what Sylvester Stallone was going for, right? When he was writing Rocky, was to have like the conversational aspect, but it doesn't make sense in the movie aspect.
No, I think he was going for bad actor.
He goes for that a lot.
Yeah. Yes, he does. Yeah. As someone who has seen a number of Sly films.
But you know what? I still love him.
What?
I do.
Wait, you're a Stallone fan?
I am a Stallone fan.
Sarah, you don't even count. You've seen all movie. Calm down.
Okay, I've seen Rocky 1 through 3.
Yeah, you need to see him in a role that isn't Rocky Balboa.
But he's like my favorite character.
What?
That's why we're having this. Isn't this why we're having this conversation?
No, we're having this conversation because you have a different opinion. Rocky Balboa is your favorite cinema character of all time?
No, okay. Let me rephrase. He's my favorite Sylvester Stallone.
You have no reference point. You cannot. What is happening? You cannot make that claim. You have no reference point. This is the greatest steak I've ever had. How many steaks have you had? This one. What are you talking about? There's no criteria. There's nothing to judge. That one-legged man ran the fastest lap of the whole race. Man, how many people was he against? No one. It was just him.
If you was to watch Cobra, that would change your mind. Marion Cobretti is the greatest character in cinema history.
Oh my gosh.
You're a disease, and I'm the cure.
The way he cuts that pizza with the scissors.
Oh my God.
The toothpick, it was the match he always had in his mouth.
Yeah.
Like a dickhead.
Anyway.
And people think I'm insane. And this is what I have to put up with.
So after the pet store scene, Rocky goes to see Mickey, where we get the locker scene. You know, Mickey gave his locker to another promising boxer. And I wrote this quote because this is what Mickey says to him. He says, "There's nothing special about you. You never got your nose busted. Hell, leave it that way. It's nice and pretty. What's left of your brain?" Felt like that was yikes.
Dang.
Mickey, yikes.
I was distracted by the sign that said no kissing.
In the all men's locker room
Yeah.
of a 1979 boxing gym, locker room, shower. No
But-
kissing.
No kissing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Looking at you, Spider Rico. It wasn't a headbutt, it was a kiss attempt.
He's moving in for the smooch.
It's the smooch uppercut combo. They never see it coming.
So, and then Mickey basically tells him to retire.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Rocky's had a pretty bad day. Who's the first person he goes to talk about it with?
Whatever random person he could corner on the street, I presume. We don't see his whole walk, do we?
No, we don't see his whole walk.
Because Rocky will talk to everyone. He probably went to a lamppost and was like, Mick kicked me out because I was kissing Spider Rico in the ring. I'm like, Mick, it wasn't in the locker room. Baby. Rocky will talk to birds like a crazy person, like
Because
an
he has no
80-year-old
one to talk
dementia
to.
person, like Bruce Willis at a park.
He has nobody to talk to. Oh my goodness. How are
There's
we
gonna be
ever
a-
going to get through this?
It's going to be a
Painfully.
hard edit. It's going to be a hard edit.
Oh, we can't make fun of Bruce Willis? Is that too soon?
Oh my
Nah,
gosh.
it's on the table. It's on the table.
Well, you'll think about it. Sleep
Yeah.
on it. No, please continue.
I'm trying.
Make better arguments.
So the first person he goes to talk about his day is Adrian. He goes back to the pet store and he just starts talking to her, and she's listening. You know, she doesn't talk back because she's shy, timid, and nervous.
That's how Rocky and Paulie like their women. Ain't no talking back from this one.
Yeah, she's probably talked back to Paulie once.
Oh, he definitely hits her.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Polly is a
Fucking
piece of
dickhead.
garbage.
Common ground.
We're all back to center.
Yeah, right? The universe is balanced.
So while he's, talking to her, he offers to walk her home, right? Because it's cold outside, and he wants to make sure, that she's okay.
I mean,
But
kind of.
yeah, what do you mean, kind of?
Well, I mean, that's part of it. He just wants to spend more time with her.
Right.
And talk to her. Getting home safely is a convenient byproduct. Like,
Well, I think it's valid though because they live in Philly.
Yeah, but he isn't asking to ensure. He's just trying to spend more time with her. It's one of his moves.
Okay. Well, I think he wants her to feel safe, right?
Sure.
And protect her. So he asks.
Is that how he explained the knives in the apartment?
I can only explain the two that he uses as a coat rack. I don't know about the other ones.
Okay.
I love how we haven't got to the apartment yet, but we've gotten there twice.
Rocky keeps forcing us like he forced Adrian.
So he offers to walk her home, but she says no, and he leaves. So he does listen to her consent in the pet store.
That's just so he could lure her to his apartment.
But he's okay.
You,
All right.
you did it this time.
But listen, that's where it happens, right? Though, because Polly is actually the one who sets up the date for them,
Okay, so
which is a
we-
big mistake.
we've brought up Polly.
Fucking dickhead.
And I'm not even talking about Polly, but to Sarah's point, who does Rocky go to? Because he has no one to talk to. He goes to the pet store to talk to Adrian because he A, likes her, and B, has no friends. If he's such a good guy, where the hell are his friends? He should have friends other than
think-
Polly. If your
well-
only friend is Polly, you're not a good guy.
I think Mr. Gazzo is kind of his friend.
So he has a work friend, and
Well,
his best
I
friend is the worst human being on the planet.
I think Mr. Gazzo was his friend before. And then when Rocky wasn't doing well because he didn't get enough fights,
No.
Mr. Gazzo was like, "Hey, I could give you a job."
That's fair. You know what? I will accept that. That's fair. But that still doesn't answer the question. Where are Rocky's friends? Why does he not have friends?
I'm going to chalk this one up to bad writing
Okay.
once again, because you don't even know how Polly and Rocky met. There's no backstory
I'm
there.
assuming they were attacking the same woman and just met.
I'll disagree with that.
I don't even have anything for that.
But Polly sets up the first date, right? Because they're walking. I think this is the Thanksgiving day.
Yeah, because the
Yeah.
poor ice rink attendant just wants
We're
to go
not
home.
there yet, Jacob.
Oh.
We're gonna talk.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. Hold your horses. Okay.
Oh, they're out. They left the barn. Horses don't like no southpaw.
Okay. So Polly sets up the first date, which obviously is a huge mistake because Polly is a piece of garbage.
Now,
And
remind me, did Rocky ask? Was he like, hey, can you help set me up with your
I
sister?
don't know. I'm
How-
not really sure
or-
how this started.
Or
I think
was Polly like, hey, I know Rocky, I want a job with what's this, Mr. Gazzo.
right.
So if I get in good with Rocky, he'll set that meeting up, and I can do that by giving him my sister.
I have no idea because
Okay.
they don't really talk about, like, Rocky doesn't bring up Adrian around Polly a whole lot because
Right.
Polly is a piece of garbage.
So,
So-
but if we're to presume it's Polly's idea, it's dirty and sleazy and underhanded and
probably.
Yeah,
full of
any-
ulterior
yeah.
motive.
any
There's no
ideas.
goodness in
There's
his.
no, he probably wanted Adrian out of the house for Thanksgiving. Presumably. I think that's,
So he can just get drunk alone.
I don't know. I don't know what he's doing in that house alone. I don't think no one wants to know that.
Well, he's definitely alone. I know that much.
Yeah, wasn't there a turkey?
There was a turkey. He
that
threw it-
Adrian was cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he threw it in the alleyway. He said, "You want the bird? Go get the bird," and threw it. He took it out of the oven and threw it in the alley.
Yeah.
Piece of garbage.
Yeah.
Also, man, turkey is overrated. What an overrated entree.
I always have ham for Thanksgiving. I like ham.
What the hell's happening right now?
I'm just saying, we're talking.
What's your favorite Thanksgiving Day food, Tevis?
Stuffing? Duh.
You just spoon eat it out of the turkey.
No, I just eat it out of the box with some milk.
Like a bowl of cereal.
Yeah, it's great. With
So-
a side of cold mashed potatoes.
All
Oh,
right.
yes.
Alrighty then.
All right, so
Before anyone
not
throws up.
not Rocky's. Okay, so not Rocky's fault, but Adrian is forced onto this date,
Hold up.
slightly against her will.
Hold up. I disagree. So they're walking.
I wasn't making a point. I thought we were just recapping where we are right now.
We are. So, but we're not in the house yet. So Polly and Rocky are walking into the house, and Rocky keeps asking Polly, like, does Adrian know about this date? Does Adrian know that about this date? Yeah, she totally knows, bro.
Yeah.
No, she freaking doesn't.
Yeah, clearly. Because she locks herself in the bathroom.
So
First page of notes have hit the floor,
yes, ladies and gentlemen, I have
These
3 more
printed-
pieces of paper.
Printed, typed bullet point notes.
That's better than any note I've ever taken for any class I've ever had in my entire life.
I got good grades.
I in fact did not.
Yeah, but you have a good podcast.
That is
Oh.
debatable.
So obviously Adrian does not know about the date because the whole fiasco with the turkey happens, and Rocky's just kind of standing there awkwardly because he totally thought Polly told her about this.
Yeah.
And she runs into her room super upset because she's probably worked all day on Thanksgiving dinner that Polly just chucked out the freaking door.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so the first thing that Rocky does is he goes up to Polly and he's like, I think I'm gonna go because obviously this is not a good time for this at all. And Polly encourages him to go to the door and talk to Adrian about it. So Rocky's like, okay. And so he goes to the door, and Rocky goes to the door, he talks to her, and he himself officially asks her out. He's like, do you want to go out tonight? Right? And she doesn't respond. And I believe that if Adrian said no and she didn't come out, Rocky would have left because he keeps trying to leave. He keeps turning around. He says, Polly, I feel like an idiot. I'm talking to a door. I want to leave. Polly's like, no, you're totally going to ask out my sister tonight because Polly's a piece of garbage.
Maybe Polly had a hooker waiting.
Oh, I'm sure he did. Probably under the bed somewhere.
She was
tied up.
Oh my
the
gosh.
hooker is already in the house.
Yeah. She's probably out in the alleyway picking up that turkey.
On a side note, jot down our horror movie ideas that we're going to film. The hooker is already in the house.
Oh my gosh.
No, please continue.
This is such a fun, family friendly podcast.
You've listened to our episodes. Tevis lets his daughter listen all the time.
So anyway, so while Rocky is actually talking to the door, Adrian is getting ready because she opens the door and she's already got her coat and hat on and she's ready to leave. Right. So presumably while Rocky is talking to her through the door, Adrian is already getting ready, but she again can't express that, hey, I want to go out with you because Polly is a piece of garbage.
You keep using the word.
How's that Polly's fault?
Because he talks to her like crap, right? Yeah. So he tells her that she's a loser, she's ugly, she's going to die alone.
Well, even Polly tells Rocky later on that, she's damaged goods.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Rocky damaged those goods.
Yeah, but, so Polly is telling her all these things and she lives with him.
Yeah.
So she starts to believe them, kind of like the way Rocky believes what everyone's saying about him.
Yeah, but what they say about Rocky is true.
We've already discussed this.
Adrian is a victim. Rocky just doesn't like his life because he made bad decisions.
So before they leave, so she comes out and before they leave, well, when she comes out, hold on, let me rewind. When she comes out, Rocky takes off his hat, which is a gesture of respect. At least back in like the 1950s, right? Wasn't that a thing? Where the guys would take off their hat.
When all guys wore hats.
When all guys wore hats, and that was nice.
Yeah,
wasn't that nice?
It was manners. Yeah,
yeah, it was manners. So he takes off his hat, and he lets her go first, and she walks out with him. But before they leave, she checks herself in the mirror to make sure that she looks good. So now we get to the wonderful ice rink scene. So I know on the podcast you guys talked about how this scene was really long.
Yeah. I think it's still playing, actually, from when I first watched it. I think it might still be, they're still making laps.
So if we recap and think about all of the trouble that, that has happened so far tonight, this date is going so poorly already.
Yeah.
Because basically Polly has pushed them both out the door.
So wait, when I said earlier that Adrian, somewhat against her will, goes on this date, you were like, I disagree. No, she's somewhat against her will goes on this date.
You have to say that Rocky also somewhat against his will goes on this date because he was ready to leave after the turkey was thrown out in the alleyway.
Yeah, but I still feel like he was more into it than she was.
Well, either way, they are now, and so he asked Polly what, because Polly is such a great source of information, what what they should do on this date together, what she likes to do. And Polly is like, "Well, take her to the ice rink. She likes to ice skate or whatever." Because he totally
Does he know?
does. He know?
I don't think he
really?
knows.
Yeah. Does he know? Really?
Probably
He's just
not.
like, yeah, take her to the ice rink, whatever.
Whatever.
That's fine.
So they go to the ice rink, and of course they're closed early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to.
Trying to close early, but they've come so far, and Rocky wants to salvage this date. He's like, we got to do one good thing tonight. So he wants her to enjoy herself on this date because she's probably, yeah.
You don't think she was having a good time
Well, would you?
at the ice rink?
At the house. So beforehand.
Yeah.
And so Rocky, to salvage the date, is like, we're going to go ice skating.
Do you think she had fun while she was ice skating?
Yes, I do.
You do.
Because she's more talkative in that scene than she is with Rocky anywhere else.
She talked in that scene.
She talked in that scene?
Yeah, she talked. They were talking back and forth while she was skating.
I did hear a few words she got out.
Yeah. So the ice
She snuck some in.
So the ice rink scene, I think, is actually a little important because you get a little bit of Rocky's background and a little bit of Adrian's background. So we know that Rocky is 30 years old, right? And in that scene, he tells her that he started boxing when he was 15. So he's been boxing for 15 years, and it's because that he's a southpaw that nobody wants to fight him.
Yeah.
And so the reason why he's unsuccessful is because nobody wants to fight a southpaw. So he can't, he can't make the dream work. So he's been in 64 fights and he never got his nose broken. And
Which I don't know how.
That's absolute garbage.
There's 64 fights, and every one of them, his hands has been down around his knees.
as he leans forward,
Yeah.
so he can block the blows with his
he get
face.
his nose broken in the Apollo fight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
and
nose-
Nikki tells him it's an improvement.
Yeah.
Such a jerk.
No,
No reason.
see though. That is a more stereotypical female response to that comment. That's male reassurance.
Oh, yeah.
That was actually the only kind thing Mickey has ever.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't like, yeah, you were ugly, but no, that was like, don't worry about it. You look fine. But
Yeah.
especially in this time period in a macho profession like boxing, two guys can't share feelings.
No, absolutely
so
not.
what do?
Yeah.
Is you rib each other and you're like, it's an improvement, you mug. So that actually, I defend is like that is the kind of
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like two guy friends that are like, hey, what's fucking stupid?
Yeah.
Not much, dickhead. How are you?
Yeah.
So your guys' relationship.
I was gonna say like Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon and Grumpy Old Men, but they and I too.
But they weren't friends at all until the very end.
I think they were still always friends deep down.
One of them tried to run the other one over with their pickup truck.
No, he pushed his ice shanty into
Oh, I'm
with
sorry.
He
tried to
pickup.
drown him in
Yes.
freezing cold water.
Yeah. All right.
But we're friends.
If you haven't accidentally almost killed your friend at some point, or purposefully almost killed your friend at some point, you're probably not that close of friends.
Okay, I'll remember that.
Okay. Anyway,
What are we talking about?
it's talking about this date on the
Rocky's
ice rink.
improvement on his
Oh
nose.
yeah, this ice rink scene is still going.
And he says he tells Adrian that he started fighting because of his father, and I thought this part was really interesting because he says that his father told him that you weren't born with much of a brain, so you better start using your body. And then Adrian says that her mother told her the opposite. She said that her mother said, you don't have much of a body, so you better develop a brain. And so I think it's interesting that they did that because it kind of shows how Rocky and Adrian balance each other out.
Opposites attract.
Yeah, opposites attract.
Yeah, but what we didn't get was that Rocky's father meant becoming a gigolo.
What the heck is a gigolo?
I'm gonna let Tevis take this one.
It's a male hooker.
Oh. There are still things I'm learning.
Maybe we should have got a noted female with more experience.
Hey now.
I'm just saying.
Hey now. All right. So, so again, the people in Adrian's life, mostly, Polly, piece of garbage, don't believe in her and drag her down. And on the other side of that, Rocky is kind of in the same boat. People don't believe in him. People drag him down. His coach has, completely abandoned him almost. And so they kind of share the same kind of feelings in that respect. So they also have common ground while also having opposites attract.
What does any of this have to do with this scene takes forever to get through and Rocky is a douche for forcing that guy to stay open late on Thanksgiving?
I was just saying that I think this ice rink scene is actually important for the characters.
So could it have been done better?
Probably.
Okay. So wait a minute. The writing is bad.
I'll agree with that.
Okay.
I like the characters in the movie. I do. But okay. I'm not like there are some parts of the movie where, the writing is. Yeah, the writing is bad. I'll agree with that.
I have a really big question. I'm going to save it for when all this is done.
Okay.
But no, as someone who works in retail, hey, man, I'll give you to stay open. Like, up yours, Rocky. That dude just wants to go home to his family because unlike you, he has one. And you just force him to stay open late because you're a douche.
Well, they bartered for money. So he did stay open, but for money. He got paid.
Yeah, but he also would have enjoyed just going home.
But he could have turned down the money. He could have said, "Nope, I'm not."
He did several times, and
but
Rocky didn't take that for an answer.
Offered him money, and then he was like,
"No." He was like, "No, man, I'm just going home." He's like, "I got $10. I got to," because Rocky doesn't take no for an answer. Wink, wink. Foreshadowing to later in this conversation.
Okay.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, what is it? $1 a minute?
$1 a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, $1 a minute. Which is how much in the 1970s?
Probably $1 a minute.
No, I was talking about inflation.
It'd be closer to $3 a minute.
Okay,
it'd be $10 roughly. It'd be closer to about $30.
That sounds very gigolo-ish.
Per minute rate.
Full circle.
Yeah. I have yet to hire a gigolo with a per minute rate. I'm gonna just let that joke sink in as you guys just think about you. I can tell as you all are thinking about it more, you're laughing harder because that was a damn fine joke, and I just want everyone to just bathe in that one for a minute.
Can everyone just break out there? That's a damn fine joke.
That is a damn fine joke. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Anyway, how are we ever going to make it through this?
That's how I felt watching Rocky.
Zing!
Don't zing. Please don't emphasize my jokes by shouting zing. No, I'm sad I made it.
That's fucking metal.
That is an inside joke I wasn't supposed to make it on the podcast.
I can't breathe.
If anyone would like to edit and guest star in a podcast about movies, please contact Jake, care of Ticket Price.
P.O. Box, eat my ass, nom nom nom.
Nom 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 nom. This whole movie, it's writing, it's cast, eat my ass.
Oh my gosh.
Nom 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 nom.
Oh, okay. All right. So we're finally to the scene. Now, you guys are probably going to get super annoyed with me because I'm going to do this like movement by movement, line by line almost.
Okay.
Okay. So you're just going to have to buckle in like I'm strapped to this chair.
Sure. Let me grab my water. Hold on.
Zing.
Zinga!
I don't think I've made this whiny noise in a long time. I'm not sure what's happening to my throat right now.
That's what Adrian said in the apartment.
Well, Rocky doesn't take no for an answer.
Oh
wink, wink,
gosh, we
foreshadowing.
haven't gotten there yet. So they're walking down the sidewalk to Rocky's apartment. And Rocky says that Adrian is shy by nature and he isn't bothered by it. So he's trying to make her still feel comfortable around him.
As predators often do.
So, and then he calls himself a bum because he's, again, starting what everyone else is saying about him. And Adrian says, I don't think you're a bum. So they're kind of finding, they're having a conversation. They're already kind of supporting each other a little bit, defending each other. Rocky walks inside, but he leaves the door open. Right?
Because she's in the doorway.
No, she's actually... Since you didn't watch the movie.
Oh, no, you couldn't pay me to watch this turd again.
Adrian is actually... So, there's steps leading to his apartment, right?
Yeah.
She's at the bottom of the set of steps. Rocky's at the top of the concrete. He's inviting her in. She says, I think I should go home. And he's like, well, you can come in if you want. And then he leaves the door open, like wide open, and he goes inside. Adrian makes the decision to follow him. There was no pressure to go inside with him.
No pressure?
I don't think there was pressure. Like, if she didn't want to be there, she could have just gone home, right?
Yeah, but she could have not let Polly treat her like crap. She has been...
Right, but
to your own words.
Right.
She has been forced. He's like, hey, so now he has already set the expectation of he wants her to come upstairs to his apartment.
Well, yeah, he wants her to come
upstairs. And says,
upstairs.
well, go ahead, come in. I'd like you to come in if you want, and left the door open.
Right.
So he's waiting for her. She knows he's waiting for her. And now she has this conflict of this is expected of her. Does that not feed on her? What's the word I'm looking for? Torture? I mean, does this not feed on her mistreatment?
Maybe it does, but not. Rocky's not doing that on purpose. He doesn't know how else to get her to feel comfortable because she's not going to go upstairs like with do you know what I'm saying? Like with him. He's making sure that the door is open. She can turn to leave, but he's not watching her leave. He's not watching her come in. He's not watching her leave.
The trap is set.
She can go in if she wants to, and she can go home if she wants to.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think that is saying. And she chooses to go upstairs.
She chooses to go upstairs rather than walk home alone.
But she walks home
at night in downtown Philadelphia.
But she walks home from the pet store. We've already covered this. Rocky asks her if he could walk her home, and she says no, and he leaves. So she already makes the decisions to walk home by herself anyway.
Yeah, but she lives in a much nicer area than Rocky does.
She follows him upstairs.
As she casts that page of notes aside, I'm done with you. Like Polly with so many used up hookers.
Oh my gosh. And so she joins him upstairs, right? And this is where it gets, I would say where it gets awkward.
Problematic.
Problematic would be a good term. Yeah. Because they're trying to show that Rocky is nervous.
Sure.
And
they are?
I think so. Because when he comes back up the stairs, he's talking about his animals. And he's blabbering about his animals, and he's so nervous because he's got, his crush in his apartment. And the only thing they usually seem to talk about are animals at the pet store. So he brings up his turtles and his fish, and then Adrian says the line that is apparently your favorite.
Yeah, I know. I sold them to you. It's funniest shit ever.
But I think that they were trying to convey that Rocky is also nervous, and this is not a usual thing for him. He's not.
Rocky has babes in his apartment.
There is no way.
You think he has a cute face?
I do think he has a cute face, but everyone else around him doesn't support him. He has no one in his corner.
There's no woman that's been in that apartment.
There is no. Yeah. Thank you, Tevis.
No, absolutely not.
Rocky
He did nervously take off his shirt, too.
Yeah, nervously undresses.
You're just mad because you don't have those big beefs of arms.
I've seen your husband. You need to calm way down. I'm twice the man your husband is in every measurable aspect. All right, let's calm down.
His heart is bigger.
No, it isn't. Unless he has that condition like John Q's son did in the movie Q with my man Denzel.
What a
hot Denzel reference.
What an old reference. Holy crap.
Didn't think we'd have a John Q moment.
Denzel is on the corner. Surprise, Denzel! Man, surprised Denzel would have made this movie so much better.
Okay. So then Rocky invites her to sit on the couch with him.
As you two have stated, ain't nobody want to sit on that couch.
That's fair statement. I will say that is a fair statement. Rocky's apartment is not the best, but again, he can't afford a lot.
Money has nothing to do with not living in a rat hole. Just pick up your garbage and put it in the trash can, and then take the trash can out to the goddamn street or the dumpster, whatever your building offers.
I think it's just like a crappy apartment, like a crappy old apartment building.
No, that does.
You didn't
The
watch
crappy-
the movie for this.
The crappy old apartment would be like, oh, please ignore the creaks and it's drafty, or you can hear the neighbors. Piles of trash is a bad occupant.
I don't think I didn't see any trash in his apartment. Did you notice trash in his apartment?
Yeah, his name was Rocky.
Zing!
Please stop adding zing to all of our zingers. If you have to say zing, it's not a zinger. Please stop. You're actively ruining our show.
You have me tied to a chair.
I'm about to turn your microphone off.
Anyway, Rocky invites her to sit on the couch with him. And she does start to walk in that direction, but then she asks about his pictures on the mirror on the wall. Like, she picks up a picture of him when he was younger, and he was like, is this you as a kid? Are these your parents? She's very interested in Rocky, in his background. And, this is stuff that you would do with someone if you were on a first date, right? Like, get to know them, see pictures.
No, I've never had a first date or been invited by a first date to our homes. That's a little forward. Consider me old-fashioned. More of a 3-date kind of a guy.
Okay. Rocky is apparently not that kind of guy.
Yeah, because Rocky doesn't take no for an answer. Wink, wink, foreshadowing.
The only reason I can defend Rocky taking her to his apartment
He wants to smash.
is okay. 2 reasons why I can defend.
Oh my gosh.
Rocky is he spent all of his money that he had at the ice rink, and everything is closed. It's Thanksgiving, so they have nowhere else to go.
That's fair.
Can't go back to her place because the turkey throwing asshole
And the hooker that's
And,
already in the house.
that's probably dead now.
Oh my gosh.
As dead as a Thanksgiving turkey.
So that's his only option, really.
Okay, that's
Unless
fair.
he takes her to the gym, but then clearly he can't make a move because of the sign that says no kissing.
Exactly.
Yeah, what a cock block. Thanks,
Yeah.
Mick.
So that's the only defense I have.
Right.
Oh, that's
I think,
fair.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of
Yeah,
sense.
That's fair.
Yeah. Anyway, and then they have a conversation about that, and then she asks for a phone to let her brother know where she is because she's nervous. And what we know of Polly, he's not the greatest because he's a piece of garbage, and so she's probably afraid of coming home late and without Polly knowing where she is, because that's probably happened a couple of times.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I can't. There's no way Adrian has been out with a man late.
Well, if like before,
Just out.
just out.
Oh,
I
Yeah.
think Polly would come up with any reason to abuse her. So
Exactly. So she wants to let him know where she is, but I find it. I mean, I guess this is 1970, so I don't know. But were there landlines in apartments in
in
1970?
79, there sure were. They didn't have to climb up on the telephone pole and crank the handle like Green Acres.
being someone who was born in the 70s, you are correct, Jake.
Wouldn't you know it? Phones definitely exist, Sarah. We're not
Well,
talking about
okay.
1870.
Right, but I just mean that they weren't a necessity. Oh my gosh.
No, please continue. I don't let Tevis edit himself out. Please continue.
A necessity.
What is it, Lester? What is it? For Christ's sake, spit it out.
Necessity.
Necessity.
Necessity. So glad I invited you on the show as our expert.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Now, if
Oh.
you could say that Rocky didn't have a phone in his apartment because he's, what we call po,
Yeah.
because he's so poor he can't afford the R, right? He's po.
Yeah.
But no, phones were a common staple in most households. He probably had a phone. There was just a knife sticking out of it.
I did not live in the 1970s, so I have no idea. But I'm just saying that phones probably weren't as important.
No, they super were.
Oh, they super were?
Oh, yeah.
Two people are telling you
Yeah.
this argument is invalid. Because
Okay. Well,
But Rocky probably couldn't afford one.
Yeah, he probably couldn't afford one.
Now, if you were to say he didn't have a phone because he can't afford a phone,
Yeah.
that I could buy.
Couldn't
Okay.
afford a phone, but he had two really nice knives.
At least two really nice
At least two that we
knives.
know of.
And then two real shitty ones. Can't hang my hat on a crappy knife.
okay. And so I think that's why she asked for the phone, right? To avoid being abused by Paulie
Sure.
because he's a piece of garbage. And then she says, I don't think I belong here. Which again, Paulie has been telling her all of her life. She's ugly. She's a loser. She's not going to matter to anyone. She's going to die alone. So she believes it.
Mm-hmm.
And so even though, from Adrian's perspective, right? Paulie made the date happen. Paulie basically shoved them out the door together. And Paulie suggested the ice rink.
Mm-hmm.
So Paulie set up the date.
Yeah.
So Adrian is thinking there's no way Rocky actually likes me.
Possibly.
I could see that.
I don't know if I get where that's coming from, but I don't agree with that.
Okay.
I could see that with her self-esteem being where it's at. No amount of interest that Rocky would show her would she believe he's actually interested in her.
Yeah. So I think that's why she says that, because of those things. And she says it again. She says it twice. She says, I don't think I belong here. And then she says, I don't belong here. So it's more affirmative. I believe that you don't want me to be here.
Is this before or after he locks the door?
He locks the door upon entering.
Yeah. You glossed over the. She walks into his murder den and he locks the door behind her. Then he gets undressed.
But I will point out that they're in Philly, and you already said it. He's probably in a bad part of town in downtown Philly. You're going to lock your apartment.
I bet that's the only time that door is locked. It's not like he's got anything to steal.
Well, I can say this, when I was living in an apartment here when I was going to college, everyone told me to always have your apartment locked.
Yeah, but you're a very
fair.
petite college girl. Tevis, how often is your door locked?
My door locked?
Yeah.
Oh, it's all the time.
Is it?
Yeah.
Am I the only one that just invites people in? God, I hope God someone comes through my door. There's so many years of anguish I could just let out. This isn't about me. This is about Rocky.
I was like, what did we just enter into?
I just know before this is over, I'm gonna need a whole lot of serious therapy. Look at my eye twitching.
But it's turned into a therapy session.
Yeah. It's still an odd move, though.
It is an odd move.
Yeah.
But again,
He could have softened it.
yeah, he didn't have to
Well, he could have
Jam
said,
the block.
hey, it's not the best neighborhood, and
Yeah.
done something to reassure her.
right.
This isn't creepy.
This is why I'm doing this, not to
Right.
keep you from running out of this apartment screaming. I want to keep you in here screaming.
Right.
Don't.
Because he doesn't take no for an answer.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So Rocky knows that Adrian is shy and timid. He talks to her every day at the pet store, so he already knows what she's like, and he also knows Paulie and what he says about her, because again, Paulie is a piece of garbage, and he probably tells everyone that his sister is a piece of garbage.
I could see that.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and he knows how she's feeling because everyone in Rocky's life also calls him a bum, a loser, not special, and he's starting to believe those things too. So he wants to let her know that he likes her and she can belong here if she wants to. So he makes a move.
Now, which move is this? Is this the I'm gonna corner you with my arms between a wall and a locked door move? Is this which move are we talking about?
Well, I'm okay. So I want to talk about that later because
So we're not talking about that move.
we're not talking about
What move
that
are
move.
we talking
We're talking about when he says, "You have nice eyes." He says, "You have nice eyes," and he asks her if he can take off her glasses and her hat, and she doesn't move to like avoid doing that. She
Well,
lets him.
Would someone at her abused level make that move? I don't know if they would.
I have a source, but I was gonna bring it up later, so I'm gonna put a pin in that.
Okay.
Okay. So
She brought sources.
Yeah, I did. I brought a source
I am not shocked.
with my bullet point taking notes.
I can't even fucking spell source.
So she can't say necessity.
You can't remember the word holidays.
Huh?
I forgot about that.
I got there.
Oh,
Like a per minute gigolo. I got there.
Oh my goodness. So she lets him take off her glasses and her hat after he asks her. And then he says, "I always knew you were pretty." And immediately Adrian says, "Don't tease me," because she doesn't think that Rocky could ever like her. Mm-hmm. And so he says, I'm not teasing you. So he's trying to reassure her and let her know that he does like her. And so everything up until this point, everything that Rocky has tried to show that he cares for Adrian, and it's just not working. Right. She doesn't take the hint. She doesn't get it because Polly is a piece of garbage. And so he moves to kiss her, but he kisses her on the cheek and she doesn't actually turn her head. He makes a move to kiss her on the cheek. Right. And then
wait, is this when he hits her with everyone's favorite line? I'm going to kiss you now. You don't have to kiss me back.
Yes. But again, I have a source that I'm going to jump in later. So I will again put a pin in that.
You just keep glossing over all these really problematic things.
We'll get back to them, I promise.
I bet we don't.
I got the pins right over here.
All right.
Good.
Yeah.
Tavis got it.
Track of the pins. There are at least 2 now. So he kisses her on the cheek and she doesn't turn her head. So I think Rocky is kind of posing a question. He's like, "I'm going to kiss you on the cheek," and then waits for her reaction. He looks to see her reaction, and then he slowly leans forward, and she does not lean back or away from him. She actually leans upward and kisses him back.
I'm pretty sure she doesn't. I'm
If
pretty
you
sure
watch-
that's incorrect.
If you watch the scene, that's what she does. She doesn't move away from him. She moves upward to him.
Tevis?
You're not wrong.
All right.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Because I have watched this movie 2 times in the last 3 months.
No one said you had to do that.
That's part of our whole thing.
We have notes and a podcast episode about it.
I don't read my notes
Oh, wow.
even during the podcast.
It's true.
So, I actually watched this YouTube channel called Cinema Therapy, and it's these 2 guys who watch movies, but one of them is a licensed therapist, and the other is a professional filmmaker. And so they talk about, so the therapist talks about kind of like the psychology of the characters and why they do the things that they do, and then kind of gives advice about people who are in similar situations.
And they did the Rocky?
Yeah, they did Rocky.
The apartment scene? Or just Rocky and them together?
Rocky in general. So they did Psychology of a Hero. This is Cinema Therapy for everyone who wants to know. This is Cinema Therapy, Psychology of a Hero about Rocky. That's the name of the YouTube video. And while they don't cover the apartment scene explicitly in the video, in the comments section, a lot of people were asking about the apartment scene and what they thought about it. Right. And so this is the apartment scene as told by Jonathan Decker the licensed therapist, right?
You're way more qualified to do this whole podcast thing than we are.
Is it weird though that this is coming from I credit where credit's given, licensed therapist, but it's a male licensed therapist?
Right, but he has the education where I don't. Right, so he took
right, but you get what I'm saying, though.
Right, but
Yeah.
in the comment section, he said he took a feminism class.
Yeah, we all did. It's where the babes were.
I did not take that class in college.
Tevis remembers that class.
I don't remember any of my classes. What are you talking about?
But he said that what he learned, again, this is, kind of like a sign of the times of when the movie was made.
Mm-hmm.
So he says that asserting oneself sexually means being seen as a slut. So women had to feign disinterest and allow men to take the lead in order to maintain their virtue. So it's kind of that play hard to get kind of scenario, and the man has to take the lead, right? So it wasn't proper or ladylike for a woman to assert herself sexually back then, and especially in Adrian's case, she wouldn't have asserted herself sexually unless Rocky made the first move.
Or Polly.
Or
we touched on it before. I'm just saying.
you guys have a lot of incest situations in this podcast.
There's a lot of incest in the movies we watch.
We need to pick new movies.
I think we have Gladiator coming up too.
God. Oh, God. Oh.
You will bear me an emperor.
So Adrian likes Rocky and she wants to be with Rocky, but she's afraid because she believes what Polly says about her and that she's a loser and nobody wants her. So when he says that he wants to kiss her, there's the pin, wants to kiss her, but she doesn't have to kiss him back. Jonathan Decker says, I think he means that he doesn't want to obligate her or pressure her to kiss him back, and if she doesn't reciprocate, then he'll back off. Adrian does move to kiss him on the lips when he stops and pulls back. He takes it slow and she gets more passionate, so does he, and vice versa, and he's responsive to her cues in the scene. So throughout the scene, he's looking for cues.
Yeah, but like when she says, I should go home, and he says, no, you don't.
Right, but that's the whole thing with, like I said, she cannot make the first move in this movie because this is the social norm of the audience. Unfortunately, back then, women weren't considered okay to make the first move, so she's
trying to say she's trying to preserve her virtue by wanting to leave the apartment.
Right, because, and then later in the movie, anyway, Polly even calls her damaged goods to Rocky's face.
Yeah.
She probably knew that was going to happen, right? So she does want him, but it's in the awkwardness of the 1970s social norm.
Right, but so it's okay for a man to just ignore a woman who says no?
That's not what I mean. I'm saying in the aspect, if you look at the social norms of the day, Sylvester Stallone wrote it in the social norms of the day. Thankfully, we've moved away from that, and no means no, but that's why the scene gets lost in the modern era.
So it's bad writing.
I don't think it's bad writing. I think it's writing of the times, like you're saying.
Yeah, writing of the times.
Yeah.
It's bad now.
It was awkward for me to watch this scene again. But I'm not saying it's the best scene. I'm not saying that it's the greatest scene. I am saying that it doesn't ruin the movie for me.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't ruin Rocky and Adrian for me.
It's kind of like that movie we will not ever review on this podcast.
A product of its time.
Yes. I understand it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little better than just throwing the whole blanket of rapiness over the whole top of it.
Just maybe a corner of it.
Just a corner rapey.
Yeah. So, and
Just rapey adjacent.
Oof, I don't want to go in. Not touching that one.
So, but I will say that at the end of the scene, as they get more passionate.
When they do it.
Well, it fades to black, but when before it fades to black,
Yeah.
they get more passionate. Adrian is the one who initiates the first kiss, and she kisses Rocky more passionately, I would say. And then she's got her hands in his hair, and then they slide to the floor, and it fades to black because this is a PG movie.
When they do it.
But yeah, but I would say that it's consensual.
So, man, this movie sucks. Hold on. So we have a scene that is written with the social norms of the day.
Yeah, correct.
And she has to put on this show. She can't be sexually assertive. She has a reputation. This movie's really big on reputation. But it's, whatever. If a guy, really wants it, you can just fuck on the first date. That's cool. This movie sucks. That is contradictory. Not your argument.
Okay.
This movie sucks.
We don't know that they did it.
Yes,
That's
we do.
true.
Yes, we do.
It fades to black. It fades to black.
It implies that they did something, but doesn't necessarily mean that they did it because they're still kissing. There are no really any clothes off or
Rocky
anything.
had clothes off.
Rocky still has a shirt on.
Yeah, that scuzzy undershirt.
He's pull off.
Ladies and gentlemen, they did it. And, I'm just saying this movie sucks. Okay.
Anyway.
Reputation be damned, first date. So remember, ladies, as long as the guy really wants it.
That's not what I was saying at all.
I didn't say that's what you
Okay.
were. I'm saying that's what Sylvester Stallone in this shitty movie is saying.
Well, I think he wrote it again as a sign of the times. But I believe that he would, if he was able to, he would write that scene differently today or forego it altogether.
Right. But I'm just saying,
Right.
if you look at it under the context of social norms of that day,
Mm-hmm.
Adrian acting the way she did makes sense. The collapsing to the floor in a heated embrace leading to doing it on the first date is contradictory to the norms and values she's trying to uphold 5 minutes previous.
But it doesn't matter because Rocky made the first move. That's what the social norm was. If the guy makes the first move,
Right. So what I was saying, ladies, is if the guy really wants it, just let him have it. Got it. Boom. Got
can't
it.
say anything.
That's the takeaway.
Okay.
We have needs, ladies. We have needs, and we want them.
I
we
need
want
you to
them
stop right now.
fulfilled immediately.
I need you to stop it.
Immediately.
Oh my. Okay. I'm going to need to have therapy after this.
Me too.
I know a guy.
So after the apartment scene, I feel like their relationship is so much better because Adrian is more engaged. She's more attentive. They have more
Yeah.
conversations.
It's almost like a normal relationship.
Yeah,
at
it's
that
like a
point.
normal relationship. So they both start to lift each other up, and there's a scene, and I think it's before the Christmas scene where Polly goes bonkers. I think it's the first living room scene where Rocky is on television after agreeing to fight Apollo,
Mm-hmm.
and so they're on the couch, her and Rocky.
So gross.
Not his couch; it's Polly's house, or Adrian and Polly's house.
Okay.
Do you remember?
I vaguely remember this
Is
two
this
times that I've watched it in 3 months.
well, okay? But okay, I thought that was Rocky's house for this part.
No,
because
Rocky doesn't have a TV.
Rocky doesn't have a phone. You know what? Maybe
Rocky-
Adrian bought him a TV. I don't know.
Uh,
Adrian, you got all that pet shop money. Maybe we'll hook a guy up with a television.
okay. So they're watching TV, and she's got her hand on his back, and Rocky on TV says, "Yo, Adrian, it's me, Rocky."
He's so dumb.
But he's on TV, and he wants to let her know that he's proud to be with her. So what way to do that besides on, like, I don't know, is this like national TV or is this like local TV?
It was the local
it
news,
was the
but it
local
probably
news.
would have been picked up at some national level. because the world heavyweight champion is involved. But no, yeah, but what they're watching is like local news.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then after that happens and they kind of smile at each other and it's super cute. Polly, the piece of garbage that he is, offers.
I think that has been your most said word of the day.
I hate Polly with it.
I hate Polly too.
Yeah, Burt Young, you bastard.
And we're back to center.
So Polly offers to help train Rocky because no one can do anything without him being involved. And Adrian says, after Rocky's like, no, I don't want you to do that. And Polly keeps pressuring him. Adrian
Polly
says,
doesn't take no for an answer.
that is, I will agree to that. Adrian says, Einstein flunked out of school twice. Beethoven was deaf. Helen Keller was blind. I think Rocky's got a good chance. And this is the first time I think that she verbally challenges her brother in support of Rocky. So we have character development. Ta-da!
Man, this movie sucks.
Adrian also shows a lot of physical affection toward Rocky. So during training, he's at their house again, and he's sitting on the couch wrapped in a blanket. And she keeps kissing him and asks if he needs to be rubbed down. And then Rocky tells her that he doesn't want to fool around because he's training.
No kissing.
That's right, Mickey.
Just surprise purchase marriage. No kissing.
Comes up out of the floor like the T-1000 from Terminator 2.
Jeez. And he does. I think he does get a little like snippy with her. He's like, "Oh, make this meat or whatever, something to that effect."
Yes, go cook that meat. Actually, with Sylvester Stallone's writing, that might be a direct quote.
Cook the meat, woman. Put it on flame.
Meat good.
Sandwich me up.
My gosh. We're never getting through this.
You're the one with 8 pages of notes.
Oh my gosh. And so when he gets snippy with her, Adrian gets up, she takes the meat, she goes to the kitchen, and Rocky knows, that he's done something to upset her. And he follows her to the kitchen and he apologizes, and then they hug, and again, it's super cute and wholesome. And Adrian also starts to dress up a lot more. And every time she shows up in a new outfit, Rocky compliments her and he's like, "Dang, you're so beautiful." That kind of.
He's building her up.
He's building her up.
Yeah.
He's building her up. He's always telling her how beautiful she is. And Adrian gets, this is almost my favorite part of the movie, is when Adrian gets him butt kiss. It's just so wholesome, I think.
What dog?
The dog.
Oh, Buckus. Not butt kiss. Buckus. Sarah, Buckus, not butt kiss.
The subtitle said butt kiss.
Yeah, but you don't pronounce the T that hard. Hey, Buckus.
I thought that was like some generic version of Sunkiss. It was really...
No, Adrian was having a piece of that ass. Nom, 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 nom. They were way ahead of, and Sarah snorted into the microphone, everyone.
Oh my God. Sounds like a Model T going down the road.
Hold on. I want to give a shout out to my mom for passing that lovely Jean.
Yeah, thanks, Jean.
Oh my gosh.
Mom's name's Jean?
No, her mom's name is Butt Kiss. We just talked about this. We're like, Jesus.
I can't stop. Okay. I need to breathe.
We're laughing with you, Sarah. Not at you.
No, you're totally laughing at me.
We aren't, but they are.
All four of them.
All 4 people that we know. Oh, shit.
Jeez, you guys are going to give me abs.
I wish we could do that to ourselves.
I don't know if I'm going to recover from that. Whew. All right.
Are you all right, Chief?
My hernia popped out a few times.
Should we be worried about
Hernia
that?
bad.
Nah, I've had it for like 6 years. It's all right.
Okay.
I just push it back in. It's fine.
That sounds all right. That sounds like an issue, though.
It's like one of those pop toys, like
yeah.
fidget spinner type thing.
Yeah. Wait. You
It definitely shouldn't spin like a fidget spinner, man.
Probably ought to get that looked at.
Okay. So, anyway, the most wholesome scene I think is in this movie is when he gets the dog.
Buckus.
Yeah, Buckus. And she gets him a dog for the running buddy. He's so happy, and Adrian's in her awesome red outfit,
Mm-hmm.
like hot dang, And
It's an overcoat, right?
yeah, it's like an outfit because
Yeah.
she's got the coat and then there's a skirt that goes with it.
Yeah.
And so she's dressing up a lot more and more, and she gets him Buckus as a running buddy and showing her support of him training.
Yeah.
Right. And so
While she tried, I have a question for you, Tevis. While she looks for her place, do you think she paid for that dog, or do you think she stole it like Rocky would have?
well, this is Tevis's question.
Find your spot on your notes.
You think she stuck it under that red overcoat and like waddled out of the
Hey, what's that in the back room?
Oh my God.
Yoink. Just took the dog.
No, I think she paid for it.
Yeah, she's not a shit like Rocky is.
Well, it's kind of implied that he was a lost dog. So I don't know if
Air quote, lost dog.
so the owners he asked if the owners ever came back for him, and Adrian says no, they didn't.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. I always took that as the not lost. The owners sold the dog.
Oh,
Because, I mean,
Well-
isn't it Sylvester Stallone to get this movie made?
Yeah.
So famously had to sell his dog
Yeah, he
and then
definitely did.
ultimately bought the dog back. So I took
Right.
it more as like the dog isn't lost. The dog got sold.
oh. Well, it could.
Either way,
Yeah, either way.
she stole the dog though.
Maybe just a little bit. But only because she loves Rocky.
So if he really wants it, put it out there, ladies. And
If you really love him, theft is fine.
theft is fine.
This is a great, fun family podcast.
Where? Who? What podcast?
And Adrian is also able to stand up to Polly because Rocky. Wow, I'm losing my voice quickly.
I didn't say anything.
Rocky gave her the confidence to do so. So I was about to say in the bat scene, but in the bat scene.
In the bats, are we watching Batman? Nobody told me.
You watched Rocky again like a fool. Watching Batman.
It's the George Clooney Batman, so I don't feel so bad.
Oh, not the one with Schwarzenegger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the scene where Polly gets out his bat and
Oh boy.
Oh, that's when he comes home drunk and they're
yeah, he
talking
comes home
about it.
all drunk and they're talking about him. And Adrian is able to stand up to Polly because, as we've seen, she's been given more confidence to do so.
Yeah.
Right. So she's no longer the shy and timid person at the beginning of the film. And I think that's one of, like, besides Rocky, getting his dream of going the rounds with Apollo at the end, I think that's one of the most powerful scenes in the movie because she grabs him by his collar and starts yelling at him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you go, girl.
The only way that scene could have been better is if she had slapped him.
Honestly.
Right?
With
Right.
the bat.
Just
Over and over and over again. Kind of like Michael Myers did to that kid in the bath.
In the
kitchen.
remake, yeah.
in the remake.
well, who was also getting a sandwich.
Yeah.
Boom, full circle. We made it.
We made it.
We made it, everyone.
But after that all settles down, Rocky goes to check on her because she's in her room. He goes to check on her, and she's the one who asks if they can move in together.
Yeah.
So she's the one who pushes their relationship forward.
Yeah, but
Henceforth.
there's a bit of necessity.
I
I
would
mean-
agree, but I think they're happy to be living
Yeah.
together. And in the next scene, it shows that Rocky sleeps on the couch while Adrian sleeps on the bed.
I don't remember that.
He gets up from the couch.
I may have fell asleep
On the couch or the bed?
on the couch.
Okay.
So I think it's either the scene after that, or it's pretty close after that, where they pan to Rocky's apartment, and Rocky gets up from the couch because he's got to go do his training.
Yeah, I just always thought he was just up.
Oh, well, he does a full get up off the couch.
Yeah,
And then-
but we see him lying there awake, and he gets up, right? Like, because he's got a lot on his head, going on in his mind.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
But he's on the couch.
Right, but I don't know if that means he's sleeping on the couch and she's sleeping in the bed.
Well, he gets up and then he goes to walk out the door.
Yeah.
And they pan to Adrian sleeping in the bed.
Right, but I don't think that means that that's their typical sleeping arrangement.
Well,
I think that's I can't sleep and I don't want to bother the person in bed with me. I'm going to get up.
Well,
'cause
I
he
took
can't
it.
sleep.
I took it as they just moved in together.
Yeah, but you don't think
And-
the fade to black means they did?
Well, they just moved in together.
Yeah.
Right. And it's kind of like you said, it's kind of out of necessity.
Right.
So they're not rushing things. So they're not sleeping in the same.
Possibly, but that's some reading between that is a viewer that is how you choose to read that scene.
I
don't-
do.
Yeah, that is there is until Stallone says, "Oh no, I wrote it because Rocky sleeps on the couch." I don't know about that one. I'm giving a lot of leeway here. I don't know about that one.
Okay. Well, that's how I interpreted that. He's given her space.
Sure.
So, he comes back from his training, right? Well, actually, it's not training. He goes out and he goes to the ring where he's going to go fight Apollo, and he, stands there and thinks about stuff. He points to the poster, and the guy's like, "Your shorts don't matter,"
Yeah.
Yeah, my shorts don't match. Does it really matter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That scene, which is like, did they even care about Rocky from the start?
No.
No, they didn't. And so he goes back to the apartment, and then he's talking to Adrian, and he's talking about how he doesn't think he'll be able to defeat Apollo. And then she says, "What are we going to do? Not what are you going to do? What are we going to do?" Because she's in support of him, and she wants him to know that she supports him.
Mhm.
So I thought that was a really sweet line. And then, of course, you have the famous scene after the fight where Rocky is yelling for Adrian while the poor reporter is trying to ask him questions. And she comes out of where she was at the end of the other arena, and she starts to push through the crowd. She also starts yelling his name. And then she finally gets to the ring, and possibly the only time Paulie has ever done anything good in his life
With the rope.
the rope, lifts up the rope to let Adrian into the ring so she can go up to Rocky. And she's the one who first says, "I love you." And then they kiss.
Yeah.
And then it's the end. So I think Adrian and Rocky are just so wholesome. And
Like doing it on the first date.
I don't think they did.
On the kitchen floor.
it's kind of
Not even the kitchen
I
floor.
don't know.
In the living room in front of the door.
it's right in front of it is right from the door.
Where she tried to escape.
This apartment has a weird layout. You could walk in and there's like a kitchenette, and then there's
It's just a studio apartment.
yeah, I guess. So there you go.
It definitely would have had a phone if Rocky could afford it. His phones did exist in 1970, whatever.
I think it was just wasn't it just 1970 when the movie
No, it
came
was
out?
late 70s.
76.
Oh, I thought it was like
I think.
1970 on the dot.
Hold on, I got my notes.
Yeah, it won the
76.
1976 Oscar.
I just said 76.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
said it before you said
No,
it.
you didn't. I said it first.
No.
Yes.
Mm.
Yep.
Hey, you guys can also listen to the recording of this and decide.
Yeah, we don't listen to our stuff. So there you have it, everyone. a third look, a much more positive look on Rocky, but through her own admittance, there's a lot of
bad writing, societal norms.
I was gonna say viewer opinion on how certain things,
right,
how they happen,
yeah,
and why they happen the way they
totally
do.
understand.
So it's up to everyone watch. I think a lot of good points were said, especially by me, in my notes. And okay, I have to ask this question.
Okay.
I'm putting you on the spot. You were giving me trouble about the rules of the show.
Okay.
We have to watch these movies critically. We have to put our own personal love or hate for them aside. We have to put nostalgia aside.
Okay.
And we have to look at this movie as it is top to bottom. Writing, directing, acting, subject matter.
Right.
Is Rocky worth the ticket price?
I think it is.
Do you?
Yeah.
Are you being objective?
No, I really don't.
Wait a minute. You can't say, no, I'm not being objective. The point of the show is to be objective.
Wait. Okay. I thought you were saying, like, don't be caught up on nostalgia.
Which you are, yes.
No, okay. I only think that there are in some spots where the writing is particularly bad. Right. And I think that the tone of the movie, because I really love underdog movies. So I think this is an underdog movie. And it's about fulfilling your dream. And while at the end of the day, Rocky didn't become, in this movie, he didn't become the champion. Right? He didn't become the champion. He did go the full round with Apollo, which is something that he wanted to accomplish. So you get the feel good at the end of this movie. He gets the girl. It's wholesome. I wish Polly would have died, though.
Amen.
Sex on a first date, mentally abusing women, taking advantage of situations,
yeah, but
criminal underworld, breaking people's thumbs, wholesome family entertainment, damn it. Just like I had when I was a wee lad.
But yeah, I think it's worth the ticket. I really do.
I will say your opinion has softened my image of the entire date scene as a whole. And has made me think a little better about it. So I don't feel so icky.
Yeah.
Now that I've watched this movie 2 times in the last 3 months. So yeah, I thank you for that.
Tevis, is this movie worth the ticket price?
Even on the second rewatch, no. It's just so slow and kind of boring. And nothing happens for the longest freaking time. And then something small happens. And then nothing happens. The best part of this movie is the fight. The last part of the fight.
With Spider Rico, maybe.
No, I'm gonna say with Apollo. No, it's definitely not worth me watching it again.
You don't want to go for 3 times in 3 months?
No, I'm good with
Month's
that.
not over.
No, I'm good. I'll watch Rocky 2 maybe.
Yeah, once we pull it out of the hat, I have to.
Rocky 2 is really good.
No, it's not.
Super good.
All right. Well, there you have it, folks.
So what is your thought on her take?
I think some good points were legitimately good points were brought up. And some points of view, not necessarily, points of view isn't the right way to put it, but some angles to look at it, like it being written with certain nuances from the time that we didn't consider the first go around. That I think are definitely valid and worth mentioning. Some hot sources that also bring up valid points, whether anyone agrees or disagrees. A lot of individual interpretation going into it, which we're not supposed to do. I think some good points were brought up that alter the way some of this is looked at. It doesn't change the fact that this movie sucks. This movie should have stayed in 1976. With Sylvester Stallone and butt kissing. No, I'm sorry, Sarah. I can't.
No,
I can't.
It's okay.
This movie sucks.
It's okay.
Rocky sucks.
I own this DVD, so
good for
watch
you.
it whenever I want.
You and your mother can enjoy it as much as you guys want, and you can drool over Sly's face as much as you want.
Okay, I just want to add one thing. I debated whether mentioning this but my very
Oh, this is about to be real embarrassing.
this is about to be super embarrassing. My very first boyfriend's name was Adrian, and I took every opportunity to say, "Yo, Adrian."
And that's why they broke up. 100%. I don't need to know anything else. That is why they broke up.
That's awesome.
So why did you like this person?
Yeah,
Why did you bully them?
I wouldn't consider it bullying.
Did he?
No comment.
Yeah.
No
And there it
comment.
is. And there it is.
You know what? I think I'm about to untie myself from this chair.
Yeah, go watch Rocky again. No one cares what your opinion in movies are.
You literally asked
So-
for my opinion.
And I regret it because your opinion is wrong. And all diplomacy aside, your opinion is wrong and everything you said is invalid. No, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. As I needle Tevis after we get off air about what he was going to say. I'm Jake, that's Tevis, this has been Sara. We have been revisiting Rocky as a special episode of What We Got Wrong. Visit ticket price. Stay tuned because Sara may or may not be featuring in another episode. So stay tuned. Good night, everyone.